if you're in the military and you're living in the barracks, like you just came in, not even been like 2-3 years, right? You're living on base. I need you to listen to this, right? I need you to pay attention to this. Reason being, I'm finna put a lot of money into your pockets. If you do what I tell you to do, take heed to this message. I am going to put a lot of money in your pockets, right? That's a bold statement. That is a very bold statement. But if you consider everything that you get when you come into the military, right? You get free food, free clothes, um, and if you live on base, you're in walking distance from your job, right? Those three things I just said are major expenses for those people that are civilians, right, or that are not in the military, right? Food, they gotta pay for it. Clothes, they have to pay for it, and they have to commute to work, right? They might be able to walk to work, but and if you're on base, your housing is free as well, right? So no rent. So I say all that to say, if you do what I say, you will be putting a lot of money back into your pockets, right? You see where I'm going with this? I'm talking about being frugal. I'm talking about living below your means. So boom, you're living in the dorms. You have a car, but you don't use it that often. You live 5 minutes from work, right? And in a car, you live 5 minutes from work. But if you were to walk, it would be like, let's say, 20 minutes, right? You can walk 20 minutes, and it's good PT, it's good workout, right? PT good for you, PT good for me, right? Excuse me. Now, you still have that car, right? I will put the car on Turo and walk to work every day. So while you're at work, your car, let's say you have a decent economical car, a Honda Civic or something like that, put her on Turo. You charge a decent amount, and if you have a car note, it then pays for itself. And if you paid it off, it's all profit. See what I'm saying? So you just turn the liability into an asset. Stay with me. Now, on top of that, you're not going to eat out. Reason being, you have the military paying for your meal. You have an allotment for your um, meal allowance as well as your housing allowance. It gets taken out so you don't directly see it, but it's there, right? So we're going to think in our minds like it's there, it's getting taken out, so I need to use the money that I would have had for food to eat the food that they're providing for me, right? So since you're getting free food, you're not going to eat out, so that money that you're now saving because you're not always eating out, you're going to put that into another asset class, which I will highly consider stocks or crypto, right? Just because the savings account isn't gonna really get you where you want to be if you're a young individual, right? It's not really gonna get you where you want to need to be. Um, since you're young, you got compound interest on your side because of time. You want to put it in aggressive, somewhere aggressive, right? Very, very aggressive. Reason being, if let's say something was to happen where it wasn't in your favor, right? Let's just say something bad happened. Since you're young, you have time to bounce back, right? I talk to a lot of older individuals, and they're always like, "Man, I wish I would have invested or something." They're always saying like, "I wish I could have done something," right? But a lot of them say they didn't invest soon enough, and they're like in their 40s, 50s, and they're trying to talk to me about investing. Not to say I'm a know-it-all or anything, but I'm like, man, you know, I'm ahead of the curve. I'm already, you're too late. But I love having those conversations because I can actually contribute to the conversations, and we could actually talk money, especially if they're really knowledgeable and financially literate, right? So I actually like those conversations because they all just get people shocked, right? They're like, "Oh, you really know your stuff." I'm like, yes, yes, of course. Humbly, I say, right? Of course. Or at least I'm heading in the right direction. I like to say, right? But you as a young individual, you want to be aggressive, right? You want to be aggressive. You got so much time on your side. Let's say you're first coming into the military. A lot of people that first come into the military, they're 18, 19, 20, you know, first time on their own, right? First time on their own, don't really know too much about investing or what to do with their money. They're just going on spend, 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 right? It's the first time them having this much money, or you yourself, because I was there, right? I was there. The first time me having this much money in my hand, because I came from the military Or when I joined the military, I came straight out of high school, right? So I didn't go to college because in high school I was like, man, I don't want to pay for college. I was smart enough to know college wasn't worth paying for, right? I was like, man, I'm a very visual person, and I was able to see like these people are going to school, these long hours doing this, because I'm doing something I don't really like either. So I get it to a degree, but I just at the point college just didn't add up to me. The debt didn't add up to me, right? But I mean, the networking aspect of it, I think is very highly beneficial. And some of the specific classes are very highly beneficial. But overall, I just don't, think college is overall beneficial. But anyways, I digress. You being a young individual in the military, right? Um, like me coming out of high school, I didn't really live on my own. I'm still really not living on my own, right? Because I have a roommate. I'm taking advantage of my VA loan. So if you think about where you want to be towards the end of your military career, right? Do you want to be like 10 years in, like, oh, I guess I gotta extend another year or so because I don't know how I want to do, or I don't have a backup plan. I hear that happen all the time. I don't got a backup. People get out, don't have a backup plan, and then they're right back at square one. Where they were used to working a minimum wage job, which nothing against a minimum wage job, but you digress. You didn't progress. It's like, what was the point of getting out? You know what I mean? But if you set yourself and you have your focus in the beginning, you know what you want in the end, that journey, those little chapters, those little chops along the way, it's going to be a whole lot easier. The journey is going to be a whole lot smoother for you, my friend. I promise you. And I can guarantee you that, right? So while you're in the dorms, you're renting out your car. You're not spending any money on going out. So you're pocketing all that money. As a E1, I want to say, don't quote me. Actually, let me just look it up. Computer's right in front of me. Gonna look up. How much does an E1 get paid? What's good with you though, family? I feel like a boss today. Got my mic in. Testing, testing. Oh, yeah. Alright, boom. So E1. Yeah, we in motion now. Got my OJ too. Oh, that's good. Alright, in E1. Military E1 pay industry according to a 2020 military pay. Okay, so this is kind of old, so give or take, it's about $1,732 a month, right? Let's pull up the calculator. Let's do some quick math. I love doing math, right? Even though I didn't used to like math, I like doing math now. The simple math, adding and subtracting. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Alright, so $1,732, right? That's what you're starting out with. That's what you're getting a month for 12 months a year, right? Now you get paid the 1st and 15th. So let's split that up. Let's divide that by 2. 9,732 divided by 2. That's $866 that you get on the 1st and 15th, right? So boom, let's play with this. What are your expenses, right? As somebody first coming out of high school, living with their parents, the only thing you will probably have to pay for is your phone bill, possibly, right? Or maybe Wi-Fi, phone bill and Wi-Fi. Cause I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, right? Cause I was there, right? So as an airman in the dorms, I really didn't have too many bills, so I was just blowing this 1732 a month, blowing it, right? But let's say I was smart and I just easily saved half of that, right? Because I'm an aggressive individual, right? Half 866 divided by 2, that's 433, right? But I'm doing that the 1st and 15th. So we're going to multiply by 2 again. So that's what I'm saving a month, right? Now, a lot of people be like, hey, yeah, $866. Well, most people, they're just going to blow it. Be straight up with you. You're going to buy liabilities. And it's going to go real quick, right? Now, you're smarter than that, right? This is what you're going to do with it. You're going to take that 866 and you're going to find a high yield investment, right? You're going to find an income producing asset, a monthly income producing asset, right? Now, it's important to know what you want, right? It's important to know your goals. Like, for somebody like me right now, I'm looking for assets that can provide me high income, monthly income, so I can build my capital up to start, quickly redeploy those dollars, right? I have the vision. I just need the capital to fund, the vision, right? I'm at the stage where I'm like, I got the vision. I just need the capital to fund it, right? So I got to be a little creative with what I got, but I'm still aggressive with it, right? So I say all that to say, you find a high yield investment vehicle. You find an asset that can beat inflation, right? You find an asset that can beat a savings account. Inflation right now is about 7%. It's pretty high, way higher than the average. You know, um, savings account, they're only giving you 0.01% if you're lucky, right? They're stealing from you. Chumps. You're stealing from us. Chumps, right? You want to find an asset that can, match both of those, right? And preferably, let's say that you sell that asset and you have to consider taxes, like capital gains taxes. Don't quote me, but I want to say it's somewhere in the range of 20%, right? So that's 20% plus 7%. So we're going to round that up to 10%. It's 30%, right? If you find a high yield asset that's giving you like 100%, 200%, 300%, come on. That's like, nothing at that point, right? But with A66, you're probably like, okay, what can I do with A66? There's not a lot of businesses I could buy on A66, but I would beg to differ. The internet is very vast, and there's a lot of things if you're just creative with what you could do with A66. But I'm gonna keep it simple with y'all. Alright, I would just put it into crypto. I'll just put it into crypto with educating myself first, of course, right? Finding out what's hot, what's not. What projects are reliable, what projects are going to last and stand the test of time, what projects have good utilities, what projects are the wells investing in, like where's the money going to, or is there a lot of money flowing into projects like or specific NFT projects, or specific DeFi projects, right? I will look into crypto, right? Because on average, you hear about people getting returns of upwards of, Bitcoin alone a year does about 60%, 80%, 50%, right? But it's all about educating yourself first, right? Knowing when to buy, knowing how to follow trends, right? Whether it is tactical or fundamental, right? However you want to tackle it, you just got to make sure you educate yourself, right? So you take that A66, right? Let's say for a year, you educate yourself and you just stacking, right? You just stacking. So that's A66 a month. Let's times that by 12. Boom. You got $10,392 to work with. $10,392 to work with. You light years ahead of your peers. I promise you, your peers aren't thinking about this. 1 year sacrifice puts $10,000, $392 in your possession to work with. Right, that's a decent foundation to work off of. And let's say you don't even want to go with crypto anymore. Let's say you stumble across a better investment vehicle. This capital, you can now deploy it to whatever you want, right? But I will say make sure whatever asset class you choose, you educate yourself, right? Through education, you find power. Knowledge is power, and if you know how to use that power, you can be a very dangerous mamma jamma. You know what I mean? So let's say you take that $10,392, and you're like, what should I do with it? I'm gonna tell you what to do with it, or at least what I would do with it, right? If I had that much money, with me being in the military, first I would make sure I'm eligible for another VA. If I am, I'll use that to deploy into the real estate lane. But if I'm not, I will probably put it into stocks, more so options, because I'm very aggressive right now, and just because I feel like we're in a slump in the market, especially right now in the market. So I'm very aggressive right now. And that's just me personal. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't advise you do anything. This is just pure entertainment. Just talking to you all. Talking to you all, getting things off my head is actually therapy for me in a way. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm talking to the camera, so it's therapy, right? I'm just clearing my head, and while I'm teaching you, in a way, not to say I'm a guru, but while I'm like teaching and speaking on it, I'm also learning it. I feel like, right? It's a two-way street. But with this $10,000 as an airman, man, you are really gonna be light years ahead. You might even be light years ahead of your NCOs, right? Some officers. But it's all about um how you allocate those funds. It's all about, it's not how much you make. People get that mistaken a lot, right? If you look at officers, because a lot of people want enlisted, at least they want to transfer over to officer because either one, they hate getting yelled at, or two, they don't really have enough power in so many words, or three, I'm just being blunt, right? And three, the more pay, right? Or they feel they want to have a bigger leadership role. Actually, I shouldn't say more power. Apologize to take that back. They want to have a bigger leadership, which that's okay as well too, right? But let's say like your sole focus or your main goal in life is financial freedom, and you're not really too much worried about leadership in so many aspects, right? Um, and you just want to use the funds to create a foundation for financial freedom. This $10,000 in your first year, now we're talking about your first year, can stretch a long way. Remember we spoke on compound interest, right? Just pull up a compound interest calculator. It's another favorite thing I like to do. Is pull up compound interest calculators and then just dream, so to speak. Compound interest calculator. Okay. Yeah. No, that's a boring one. Nah, too complex. They make them too complex. It's just simple. All I need is amount. Yeah, this is a good one. Okay, initial deposit. What do we start with, right? And I would highly recommend using this compound interest on your free time, especially if you're one of those people like New Year, New Me people. I would use this tool to develop how you're gonna move in 2022, right? So, compound interest calculator. Initial deposit. We're saving, just to backtrack, right? We're saving half of our $866 the first and 15th, but since we're doing it two times, it's $866, right? From our pay. So if you save $866, times that by 12 every month annually, you just save $10,392. So the initial deposit, $10,392, right? Now we're gonna continue this trend, but if you're anybody like me, aggressive, every time you get a pay raise, which you will every year, you rank up. If you stay out of trouble, do what you're supposed to do, you rank up. You can get about $200 extra every year, right? Um, I would act like I am not even getting that bread, right? That's capital for me to invest, right? I'm gonna stay frugal for about another year or so, 2 years. Now stick with me. You stay down, the come up is very promising, right? A couple years of staying down put you in the dough. I'm telling you, right? So you take that 10,392. Now monthly, you're gonna still put the 866, but on top of that, you're gonna put your raises on it. So let's say you got 866 and you just got a pay raise of 200 every month. So that's $1,066 you now have, right? You're gonna put that in a monthly 66 investment time span. Let's say you signed a 4-year contract, right? So you started $10,000. You started with 10,000 after your first year. So this is 3 more years, right? So we're gonna do 4 years. Now, since we're gonna find a high yield asset, we're gonna put our estimated rate of return at, let's say, 100%, and that's conservative. Estimated rate of return annually. That's compound frequency annually. Take a guess at what you think you'll be getting, because it's a number that I like. You ready for me to tell you? It's $158,000, 344. Right? I stopped at the $1,000 because 344. That's nice, but $158,000. $158,000. Right? So that's just 4 years. Right? If you stay down, let me ask you this. Who you know that has $158,000 liquid cash that can have it in cash in a matter of 2 to 3 days? Alright? Who do you know that can liquidate that type of money? That's fast. Not too many people. A lot of people may have it in their house as equity, maybe. You might come across old heads, or not old heads, older individuals, maybe people in their late 30s, 40s. That might have. We're talking on average, of course. You have your other, 1%, people that are making 6 figures, and et cetera, et cetera. But being in the military, right? And we're not talking about officers, high-ranking officers. We're talking about enlisted, right? And we're talking about the junior tier enlisted. Who do you know that has $158,000 liquid, right? So it's power and thinking long term, wherever you're at, and then coming up with a plan, a strategic plan in the middle, and being frugal, stand down, right? It could set you up big time in the future, right? Very big. So, man, like that's just my take on being a little bit part of the older, generation in the Air Force. I'm not that old. I'm like six years in. It's not that old, but it's still me trying to pass down some knowledge that I wish I would have had. Like, I didn't fully know. It took me getting in trouble and messing up my money, and the military taking money from me, and this whole situation. of like me having to wake up like, man, it's not really a good feeling to be broke. Like I just woke up one day and was like, man, I hate being broke. I mean, I still wake up every day and still got that mentality like I'm broke. If I'm gonna be real with you, every day, right? But at the same time, um, like being able to see what you want in the long term and do what you got to do in the present, it helps. So if you're a new airman coming in and you know first time being on your own, first time having a decent amount of money, highly recommend sitting down, looking at what you want to do in the end, and applying your way and stay frugal, right? Don't go out and buy the Mustang, man. Don't go buy the Camaro. It's not worth it, bro. I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't do it. Camaro is gonna be there, right? They gonna charge you a leg and a half. And they gonna hit you over the head with the interest, right? Your first car, you probably gonna get it red. So of course they're gonna rack it up a little bit higher. You're gonna go try to get some insurance, y'all. Gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Don't do it. Don't do it. What they say in the music video of I typed a text to the girl I used to see saying that I chose this kid whom I want to be. Y'all know the song. And I apologize if this message gets you down. That I CC'd every girl that I CC right town. And I hate to see y'all frown, but I'd rather see y'all smiling when it's all around me. True, I'm no island peninsula, maybe. Make no sense, I look crazy. Give up all this pussy cat that's in my lap. No looking back, spaceships. Don't come to quit. With the rearview mirrors, they dip as quick as they can. The atmosphere is not ripped. Man, I just went on the tangent. But yeah. Dang. I don't know how crazy. I'm off topic, crazy off topic. But yeah, don't go get that Camaro. I'm telling you. Save up for the Camaro, right? Save up for the Camaro. And when you get out the dorms, that's a whole nother monster and beast in itself, right? So let's run some numbers for if you use the VA loan, right? Let's say you stayed down till you came up. And now you out the dorms and you get a BAH, right? Let's say you get a BAH. Let's pick an area that you let's pick an area so we can use some actual BAH numbers. Let's do Texas. I like Texas. Just put a BOP, which is a base of preference. If you're first term airman, you'll probably come up with the opportunity to put a BOP in. But let's do Lackland Air Force Base BOP. No, not BOP. We were just talking about BOP, that's why. Lackland Air Force Base BAH. BAH. Alright. BAH rates. 2021. Let's go. Alright. You're out of the dorms. You're a senior airman. You have 4 years, right? And let's say you re-upped because you got a good head on your shoulders. You're like, man, or you extended, right? So you got 2 more years. You got your 4-year mark. Let me backtrack, just so we're on the same page. You're a senior airman, right? You signed a 4-year contract, right? You got your 4 years. Let's say you didn't make staff, or let's say you did make staff. Yeah, let's say you made staff because you're a bright person. You're bright, so you got E5. You made staff. You're like, man, what the heck? Let me stay in a little bit more. Let me be greedy. Let me have Uncle Sam be my private investor into my business and my assets, right? Let him fund my investments, right? Let Uncle Sam fund my investments. So you're E5, you sign for another 4, right? Now you have these 4 years. You're starting off these 4 years with let's go back to our calculator. $158,000, right? And $344, but $158,000. You're starting your next 4 years off, so you really don't have to do 4 more years. You're just being greedy. You just want to take more real estate. Really, that's what I would do. I would be buying more real estate, but I'll still be really strategic about it. I'll still be house hacking, right? I'll house hack every house that I buy, right? Um, all those empty rooms, I'm putting them to use like they're a unit. I don't need a multi-family, and even if I had a multi-family, ooh, I'm coming aggressive with it. I'm coming aggressive with it, right? So let's say with that $158,000, you're now living at Lackland. Your BAH in Lackland is, according to LacklandHousing.com, BAH is $1,410. It's a month, right? Now let's go to what you're getting paid now as an E5 staff sergeant. E5 staff sergeant. Now, if you're not in the military and you're thinking about what you want to do in your life, this could be for you. This could not be for you. But why not have Uncle Sam fund your investment? I mean, it was the route for me. I'm just taking advantage and trying to, take all the opportunities that come with it. So, could be a possibility for you. So let's see what E5 basic pay. Come on, man. E5 is the 5th enlisted pay grade in the United States military, with monthly basic pay ranging from $2,541.60 for entry level E5 to $3,606.90 per month for E5 personnel with over 40 years of experience, right? So just for this example, we're gonna go with 2,500 that you're making each month.